Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking on a really fun challenge. We're demystifying the watch order for what is, quite frankly, arguably the greatest, most intense psychological anime ever made, Death Note. If you've ever wanted to experience this absolute masterpiece, but found yourself kind of confused about where to start, or hey, maybe you're returning to rewatch it and just want to do it right this time, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break the whole shebang down so you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Now, you might be wondering, how do you navigate a sprawling franchise without getting completely lost? Because, honestly, that's the central problem when stepping into a legendary franchise years after its debut. Ever since the original anime dropped, Death Note has absolutely exploded. It spread like wildfire into this massively sprawling, expanded universe of adaptations. We're talking movies, television series, specials, even musicals. For a newcomer or even a returning fan, looking at that sheer mountain of media can be incredibly overwhelming. It's literally enough to make you close your browser before you even hit play. Okay, let's dive into this with a sort of funnel approach. First up, Section 1, the ultimate anime battle. Next, we'll look at Section 2, the anime purist route. Then, Section 3, the chronological order. And we'll wrap things up with Section 4, the expanded universe.
So, kicking things off with Section 1, the ultimate anime battle. Let's talk about the core premise.
It all starts with a dark, imposing notebook owned by a Shinigami, a death god, named Ryuk. The rule of this terrifying little tool is absolutely absolute. If the user follows a specific set of rules and writes a person's name down while picturing their face, that person dies. No way around it. And when this unbelievable power falls into the lap of Light Yagami, who happens to be an extremely brilliant high schooler, well, it sets the entire universe in motion.
And that right there leads to the franchise's legendary conflict. Light Yagami versus the deeply enigmatic detective known simply as L. It's fascinating. Light is trying to rule the world in secret, using the notebook to shape society to his will, while L is desperately trying to catch an invisible killer. The constant battle of wits between these two is just unspeakable tension. It's a psychological chess match of the highest order, feeding you bite-sized, crucial pieces of the puzzle in every single episode.
To really understand the scale of this, let's look at the numbers. The original manga, written by Tsugumi Oba and illustrated by Takeshi Obata, was this tight, gripping story told in just 12 volumes. Its massive success led to an anime adaptation running for exactly 37 episodes, airing from October 2006 to June 2007. And those 37 episodes, they are the absolute, undisputed bedrock of this entire franchise. Moving right along to Section 2, the anime purist route. Let's look at the release order. If your goal is simply to watch the core anime without getting distracted by all the live-action spin-offs, the easiest way is to just follow the release order. Step 1 is, of course, the original 37-episode anime from 2006 to 2007. Step 2 is catching the special titled Relight 1, Visions of a God, which came out in 2007. And Step 3 is the second special, Relight 2, L's Successors, released in 2008. This three-step path is incredibly clean and keeps you entirely within the beautifully animated world that the original creators built. Let's zoom in on Relight 1 for a second. Visions of a God actually retells the original tale of Light, but it flips the script and shifts the viewpoint directly to that apple-obsessed Shinigami, Ryuk. Now, the core story doesn't change, but seeing this insanely complex plot unfold through the eyes of a chaotic god of death, it adds this completely fresh, highly entertaining layer to events you've already seen. Following up on that, we have Relight 2, L's Successors. This special seamlessly continues the story, zeroing in specifically on the later conflicts between Light and the brilliant protégés chosen to succeed L, the guys known as N and Mello. It neatly caps off the whole purest animated experience, giving you the complete story arc through the lens of these dedicated animated specials. Okay, let's move to and see how this builds in Section 3, the chronological watch order. This one is for the true completionists. If you really want the ultimate chronological narrative, well, be prepared to jump mediums. You start with the 06 anime and those two Relight specials from 07 and 08 that we just talked about. But here's where it gets kind of wild. Right after wrapping up the animated timeline, you literally jump backward in real-world time to the 2006 live-action movie, The Last Name. You're stepping directly into a parallel live-action continuity. In the live-action chronology just keeps weaving on. From The Last Name, you hit the 2008 movie L Changed the World. Then, you leap a full decade forward to the 2018 New Generation drama series before stepping slightly back to the 2016 movie Light Up the New World.
Finally, you conclude this massive, culturally shifting journey with the pretty divisive 2017 Western Netflix film. It is a sprawling journey across over a decade of totally different adaptations.
Which brings us to Section 4, the expanded media universe, going way beyond the anime.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. To keep you from getting totally lost in the sauce, think of this as your visual cheat sheet. By organizing all this sprawling media into distinct, clean categories, TV series, specials, movies, and TV dramas, you can truly appreciate just how far the concept of a Shinigami's notebook has stretched across international pop culture. Breaking everything down by format is so much easier than wrestling with a confusing timeline.
Look at the episodic formats alone. You've got the foundational animated series, sure, but there's also a dedicated live-action miniseries from 2015. Combine those with the 2 Relight specials, and you have a surprisingly robust, diverse collection of serialized television to really dig into.
Then there are the cinematic releases. Honestly, this is a massive chunk of the franchise. You have the original live-action duology from 2006, the Elle Change the World spin-off in 2008, a modern revival in 2016, and of course the Hollywood Netflix adaptation in 2017. That's 5 distinct feature-length movies, all continually exploring the deadly rules of the Notebook in their own ways.
But you know what? Here is absolutely the most crucial takeaway for you today, and it's captured perfectly by our source material. You can simply skip all the live-action movies, musicals, and whatnot if that's not your cup of tea. I really want to empower you here. You are entirely in control of your own watch journey. Just because a franchise is massive doesn't mean you have homework to do, right? You only need to consume what actually interests you, whether that's strictly the anime or literally every single piece of media ever produced. So, that leaves us with one final big question for you. Are you a purist or a completionist? Will you stick to the brilliant, focused anime, or are you going to take the grand journey through every single live-action film and drama? Whichever path you choose, well, you now have the map. Enjoy the incredible tension of Death Note, and thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.